It's your girl
Black
Diamond.
Diamond.
Black Diamond.
So it's about me. So let me ask you a question. So what are you to China want?
I was married to his brother.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. So the question was, you know, did they ever have a conversation? I can't speak on China One. He can speak on himself. I've been knowing China One for quite a while. But it was some questions that I wanted to put out there. I wanted to answer that was put out there by the comments. Okay. So one, this is my take only. I truly believe that he married his brother's son mother, one out of desperation, one out of the fact that he always wanted to be married. Our marriage failed. And so I truly believe he took this, the first thing smoking, or the first one that was willing to do so. I can speak on terms of why I married him. Um, and that's because I was in a place in my life where I wanted stability for my children. We didn't know each other that long. I knew him from a mutual friend. Um, and the marriage lasted for five years. Like I said, I can own up to this now, being the seasoned woman that I am, and looking back now, that I married him for stability when my kids, one of my son's father was deceased, and my daughter's father was incarcerated. And I was a single woman out here trying to make ends meet. The first thing they smoking, he came along. Now, mind you, you guys saw China One, China Man. I'm not sure which one is his handle, but they favored. So no doubt he was a good looking man. He doesn't have any children. And I was in a place in my life where I was really, really trying to, find myself even at that age. Because of course, sometimes we make mistakes in the past and then we get to a point in our life and we're like, okay, we want to do things differently. So we married, and we married on the strength that um, we didn't. This is what we talk about as Christians. It's better to marry than to burn, right? And those of you who know what that means, that simply means that in the Christian world, that you rather be married than to fornicate and be in that sin. And on purpose, I'm not looking at the comments. So if the comments are asking me questions or whatever, I'm not looking at them. And so when I married him, I married him I wanted to, reestablish my relationship with Christ. I married him because he was very knowledgeable in the Word. And I gravitated to that, not only to that, to stability as well. And when he was like, okay, I want to be married, it's better to be married, than to burn. So we did that. Now, mind you, I had a teenage son. At the time, like I said, his father had passed away, so he was very apprehensive to having a man in the house. They did not get along. Shortly after being married to him, and doing the whole family dynamic, going to church, learning more about the word with him, um, I began to see some traits um, of verbal abuse, emotional abuse, but I stayed. Again, you're talking about stability. I stayed because I wanted to do the work. I wanted to stay in that situation for my kids. I stayed in it with my family members, looking outside in, realizing that this is not the man for you because he projected this image um, of being controlling. They saw it. At times, I didn't see things that they saw. Um, they did not care for him at all, especially my male cousins and my siblings, Um, 5 years in, um, I can almost say I really start seeing the controlling traits to the point that my daughter, she didn't want to be there. My son didn't want to be there. And not to mention, we had one of his relatives as a foster child. Um, she didn't even want to be there. So I made up my mind to say, I can't do this anymore. I don't even know at what point it was that the light bulb came on and said, this is not conducive to your health. This is not who you need to be with. And so I simply said to him one day, I said, I'm gonna leave you. And he didn't believe it. He said, no, you're not. I said, yes, I am. I'm gonna leave you. And I called one of my best girlfriends, and she can attest to this. And I was like, I can't do this anymore because the verbal abuse was more so um, you gaining weight. Now, mind you, Coca-Cola bottle figure is what attracted him, okay? But some of us know that we get into a place where we complacent. And then he began to say things like, I can't make love to you. You gain too much weight. Um,
So he said he didn't want to be sexually active with you because you gained too much weight?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
But
Sometimes
can I ask you, was that a clapback? Because you said when y'all got into the church, you got married so you wouldn't fornicate. Was you still keeping up with the pace of the bedroom, or once you got into Jesus, you was married to church and you wasn't giving up the
absolutely.
comfort?
Oh, absolutely not, TikTok. In fact, he was more so of a church guru than me. Believing that, a man's place, that whole submissive role, that whole thing about I'm the man of the house, and the woman doesn't have much to say, that type thing.
Can I ask you a question? You said a lot of things, but I haven't heard you say love.
I just told you I didn't marry for love.
Wow. So you didn't love him at all.
Oh, so you didn't marry for love. So what did you marry for, babe?
She said
I
stability,
married for
Diamond.
stability.
She said she
I
married for stability because she had a
but
child out of wedlock.
you tend
and I
to learn
married,
to
yes,
love them.
yes.
Hey, Winston.
Well,
Okay, so
go ahead,
oh,
Donna.
okay, so stability. All right.
Yeah,
So okay, go ahead.
granted, I was hoping that I would love him one day, but when I got into the marriage and then saw the traits of this true man, I should have listened to what his mom said. His mom typically said, "What are you rushing off to marry my son for?" I should have listened to those things.
Okay.
There is some background,
Relationship to make it better.
regarding him that I will not speak on that I know about now as to why he's the man he was. I don't know who he is now today. I hope he did his work. And I hope he's living a very successful marriage. But I truly believe if he did not do the work, he went into that marriage with the same preconceptions of, I'm going to marry not, and so that
How long was y'all married for? How long was y'all married
five,
for?
5 years, Rose.
5 years. How old are you? When did y'all get
Right
married?
now, I was in my early, that time, I think I was in my early 30s, I believe.
You
May I ask you, did you have a newborn?
Right now, you want to know how old I am now? I'm 58, be 59 in January.
So you got married in your early 30s, had an arranged marriage to marry a man because you had a child out of wedlock. The marriage lasted 5 years. Throughout this 5 years, he mentally, from what you're saying, he mentally abused you, and then also told you that you was too big for him to lay with you. And then
That's when I gained weight. The sequences, you're following the sequences correctly, but as I got comfortable in the marriage, and I put on a little bit of weight, and he began to talk about my weight. And you got to remember, Rose, he wasn't only mentally and verbally abusive to me, but to the children in the household, as well as the foster child that was related to him, that was our foster child as well.
So I'm not gonna lie.
You said that he denied you the pickle and you didn't deny him the cobbler? Because that's
the least of the problem, Pops.
He was sexually frustrated. Us men go. Wait, I'm just saying, Rose. Us men go off that. If you get get to denying me, then I'm gonna be hostile to everything.
It's more than that. She said that she didn't even love him. So
I know,
I'm
but
trying to understand.
still,
Like,
you can have sex without loving somebody. I'm saying,
Potts, you stuck on sex today, huh, bro?
why you stuck on it?
no. What I'm saying is that keeps shit going.
Are you deprived?
97% of the breakups is due to the fact that there is no sexual pleasure.
Okay.
Can I finish? Like I said,
TikTok, you onto something. But hold on, yeah, real quick, ma'am. But ma'am, did you ever?
Uncle Bernie?
Did you ever approach it? Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Uncle Bernie, hold on for a second.
Okay.
I just want to be very, very transparent that I'm up here telling this story because we talked about
we welcome it.
Why he possibly married his son's mother. And the only thing I can think of, the work hasn't been done on himself, and that the possibility that, he did it for the same reasons he did it with me, marrying so that he won't burn. And my story is my story. I've learned from it. I'm in a very, very healthy marriage now, going on 10 years. So, next question, and then I have to hurry up. And I'm going to take any questions off.
So what exactly are we talking about? If you're in a happy relationship of 10 years right now.
Yeah.
Rose, I came up, I'm going to say it again. When I met this diamond, and I said this in the beginning, I came up because there were some questions when Chinaman was on here about why do you think he married your son's mother. And I said, I was even on the panel with Chinaman the first time, saying I was his ex-wife, and that's the only thing I can think. I'm just hoping he did.
Why can't he be attracted to her?
Wait a minute, Trey. I just want to say that's my take on it because there were some questions in the panel as well as in the comment section about why do you think he married your brother? There's 1,000 women out here, but why would you marry your nephew's mother?
Maybe he
my perception is that the work hasn't been done, and there's a possibility that he married her for the same reason. That's all I was saying when I inboxed Diamond. That was my perception of why I think. Okay? Any other questions? Trey, and Uncle Bernie first, and then Trey.
First of all, I welcome.
Ooh, you are so not funny.
First of all, I welcome you. Thank you for sharing. And I didn't know it was you. I'm trying to figure out who's talking. Hey, that's all about me. Welcome in. My question, and it goes back to what TikTok was saying, but just a little different. So when you were denied, did you ever approach him and offer to perform anything, or was it just kind of shut off when it was no longer appealing?
I'm going to say this to you. Mm-hmm. It was mental and verbal and emotional abuse.
The whole time. Gotcha. Okay. So it was okay. I say no more. I understand. Okay.
So, what I'm wondering is maybe he is attracted to this woman. Maybe it's her physical, her physical is what he desires. Maybe, when his brother was with her and not appreciating her, he got fond of her. I mean, why does it have to be the same? Maybe, you got into a beautiful relationship. Maybe they're doing well.
Trez, and I'm praying that they are, but I said in the beginning, I had when I met him, it was my figure that attracted him. Because you remember when you see somebody, you're going to see the physical attraction first. And I remember the day very vividly when I got out my car and I had on this dress. I guess it was a casual dress, a little hoodie dress or whatever, so you can see every curve. Mm-hmm. It was wow. Who's that? To my friend, and that was a physical attraction. So no, it wasn't until we got into the marriage that I began to gain weight. So yes, he was. I was physically attracted.
Are you saying the new woman doesn't have the physical ability?
Oh no, she's a beautiful woman.
Okay,
she's a beautiful woman from what I saw when I saw her. You know what I mean? She's a beautiful woman. No doubt.
Maybe we're gonna believe and receive that he's happy and just like you are. Because I believe that, he probably evolved just like you. You know what I mean?
You saying you let yourself go and he lost interest?
I did see a comment. Somebody said,
you said you let yourself and he lost interest?
No. My God, no. I'm sorry.
Tap the screen, y'all. Tap the screen, y'all. Tap the
Did you
screen.
say something?
Let's
I
get
was
the
saying,
700K likes, y'all. Let's get the 700K likes.
you got comfortable in the marriage and you probably wasn't working out or whatever, and he lost interest once you let yourself go. Kind of, he lost interest.
Absolutely, but you're still focusing on the physical when there was emotional and verbal and mental trauma opposed on me. You guys are still talking about the physical attraction. That's the reason
What
I
exactly
exit.
he said? So what did he say?
That's why I exit. It was in 5 years, which I just had
Mental
waking up
and spiritual abuse. What was the lead up to that? Just he came out of nowhere, just abusing you mentally.
Don't they all TikTok? Do it have to be a time?
No, you got to. Let's run around with we ain't getting no cobbler, then we get frustrated. That's why I said it. It could take.
No, baby, but no, because in the beginning it was on and popping. No, that wasn't something that was
Yeah, it was tough in the beginning, but I'm saying if I'm used to it, like the lady said, if I'm used to it 3 or 4 times a week and a week and a half go by, that's frustration gonna kick in, my sister.
But I thought she said, TikTok said the children didn't even want to be around.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it wasn't all
He
about
started
the
it.
Started mental abusing the children once they was in the marriage, so that's why I'm asking her. That's like, what are you withholding the contract?
TikTok, I didn't know. I didn't get to know him, and I regret that today. We married very early on. You know what I mean? Again, I was searching some things in my life, spiritually, and he was already grounded and rooted in that. So that I was really attracted to that side of him as well. Not only his physical side, but the fact that he was. That's why I can speak to certain situations when I see it. When you've been through something and you notice something, you see something, you can speak on it because you've been in it and you walked in it. Like I walked in where this man literally was like telling me about God. I was really, really, really at that point in my life where I wanted to change some things. And that's what I was attracted to as well. The knowledge of spirituality about Christ and going to church. You had the whole thing.
So do you feel comfortable? Do you feel comfortable maybe giving an example of a way of which you felt like he was mentally abusing you and the children? Only if you're comfortable. Okay.
No. I want to know, when did you realize that it was starting? Like, how far into the marriage?
I'm gonna say maybe I can't answer that, Trash, because I don't remember.
Well, are you healed from this, or are you still healing?
No, I'm healed from it. That's why I can speak on it and I can recognize it when I see it. I'm definitely healed from it. I can walk, if I see him today at the mall, I can walk up to him and give him a hug. He will be a good man for somebody. I just hope he did the work and another woman is not dealing with what I had to endure.
TheBlaqqdiamondShow.com.